At 3 o'clock in the morning, your room is completely dark, your eyes open, and you perceive nothing but pitch-black shadows. But your cat is sitting in that corner, motionless, with their eyes wide open, staring straight at a spot where, to you, there is nothing at all. You might think they are looking into the darkness, but they are not looking into the darkness. They are seeing a world that you do not have the ability to access, and science is only just beginning to describe a small part of that world. It is not a blurry version of the room you know, nor is it a vague shadow. It is a completely different layer of reality, overlaid on your very own home every single night, and that is only the first thing. In this video, we are going to go through 7 things that your cat actually sees at 3 o'clock in the morning, from wavelengths of light that the human eye cannot register, to things that even modern science still does not have a full answer for. At point number 7, there is something that makes researchers themselves stop and admit that they do not fully understand it yet. It is not because of a lack of data, but because the data is pointing to a place that our current tools cannot reach. If your cat has ever stared at a corner in the middle of the night when nothing was there, please stay until the end. The first thing your cat sees that you cannot is the light that you think has completely disappeared. Behind a cat's retina, there is a structure that the human eye completely lacks. And people call it the tapetum lucidum, a layer of reflective cells located right behind the retina that acts like a mirror inside the eye. Every photon of light that enters a cat's eye is processed twice, once when it goes in and once after it is reflected back through the retina. As a result, cats can see in light conditions that are 6 times lower than what humans require. That faint light leaking through the door crack from a street lamp outside, something you barely notice when your eyes first open at 3 o'clock in the morning, is enough for your cat to see every detail on the floor clearly. Those glowing eyes in the dark are not something strange. They are evidence of an optical system that has been honed through evolution over millions of years, making it more efficient than any night vision device humans have ever built. The second thing relates to how a cat's eye is constructed, and it differs from your eye in a very fundamental way. A cat's retina contains a significantly higher density of rod cells compared to humans. These cells do not process color. They process low light and detect movement. In exchange, cats see colors more poorly than you do, and with less sharpness at a distance. However, in the darkness, that trade-off is entirely in their favor. Your eyes are optimized for the daytime, while your cat's eyes are optimized for this exact moment. A tiny mouse, moving about 0.08 inches, which is 2 millimeters, in a corner in near total darkness, is something your cat has recognized before it even had a chance to stop. When your cat stares intently at a dark spot where you see nothing, there might be nothing there. Or there might be something moving at the exact threshold that your senses were not designed to capture. This is where things become even more interesting. The third thing does not just involve light sensitivity, but rather the range of vision. A cat's field of view is about 200 degrees, compared to the 180 degrees of a human. That number might sound small, but the real difference lies in how the peripheral area works. The edges of a cat's vision are extremely sensitive to movement, not static details, but anything that shifts even slightly in the corner of the room. This is a predatory mechanism refined over thousands of generations to ensure they do not miss anything that is moving, whether they are looking directly at it or not. While you need to turn your head to see something in the corner of the room, your cat has already received a signal from that corner without having to look away from their current position. A cat, lying still on the bed with their eyes half closed, is not necessarily relaxing completely. They are observing the entire room all at once. The fourth thing is something that most people do not know, and once you know it, it changes how you look at your own floor. There is a layer of reality in your house that you never see. Not because it is not there, but because your eyes are filtered to not see it. A 2014 study published in the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society B confirmed that cats have the ability to see ultraviolet wavelengths, or UV light. The lens of the human eye filters out UV light completely before the light hits the retina, but a cat's eye lens does not. This means that the pheromone trails left behind by rodents on the floor, which reflect UV light, glow like bioluminescent paths in the eyes of a cat. Your floor, in the eyes of a cat at 3 o'clock in the morning, is not a dark, plain surface. It is a glowing map recording every small creature that has ever passed through. This research does not explain all cat behaviors, but it changes the questions we need to ask. It is no longer what is my cat looking at, but rather what layer of information is my cat reading that I have absolutely no access to. Please leave a comment below if your cat has ever stared at a specific point on the floor for no apparent reason. After this fourth point, you might already have part of the answer. The fifth thing takes us beyond vision and into a sensory system that cats use to fill in what their eyes cannot provide. Cat whiskers, or vibrissae, are not just for decoration. They contain receptors that are extremely sensitive to changes in air temperature and the smallest currents of movement in the surrounding environment. The skin around a cat's muzzle also contains special thermoreceptors capable of detecting very small temperature differences in space. When a small creature moves in the darkness, it leaves a heat trail in the air around it. Your cat reads that trail even when there is no light to see with their eyes. Even if there is not a single photon of light, your cat still knows something is moving in the room and knows exactly where it is. A cat's night navigation system does not depend on a single sense. It is a combination of many data sources at once, a sensory architecture that we have yet to fully simulate in any technology. The research here is truly worth pausing over. The sixth thing involves something in your house that you think you understand well, but your cat is seeing in a completely different way. A cat's image processing speed, or flicker fusion rate, is significantly higher than that of humans, at about 50 to 80 Hz, compared to 15 to 20 Hz in humans. This means that a television screen at 30 frames per second looks like a smooth, continuous image to you, but to a cat, it is a series of separate images flashing constantly. Even an LED light source that your eyes see as steady might be a non-stop pulsing light to a cat. A small standby light on an electronic device, which you almost never notice, could be a clear and persistent visual signal in your cat's space throughout the night. At 3 o'clock in the morning, the room you think is dark and quiet is, to your cat, an environment full of active signals. Most of us never know that. And here is the seventh point. After all that science has explained, the tapetum lucidum, rod cells, UV light, temperature, and flicker, there is still a group of behaviors that researchers have observed and recorded enough, but do not yet have a complete answer for. Cats have been recorded as having the ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field, a phenomenon called magnetoreception. Some studies in comparative physiology show that cats have a tendency to align their bodies along the north-south axis when resting, similar to certain migratory birds and fish. The exact mechanism has not yet been determined. Researchers know this phenomenon occurs, but they do not yet know why, and they do not know exactly what information cats receive from it. Added to this is a group of cases that behavioral scientists describe as behavioral anomalies, which are consistent reactions by cats to things that do not fall within the explanatory range of any sense that has been studied thoroughly. This is not superstition or coincidence. These reactions are consistent enough to be recorded in academic literature and difficult enough to explain that researchers continue to monitor them without rushing to conclusions. When your cat looks into the corner of the wall at 3 o'clock in the morning and there is nothing there, according to any device you have, they might be reacting to something that science does not yet have the proper tools to measure. This is not a mystery to make you worried. It is a reminder that the animal sleeping on your bed tonight is still holding secrets that we have not yet found the way to ask the right questions about. Please sit with that for a moment. So the next time you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and see your cat staring at a dark spot in the room, you already know what is happening. They are looking with a tapetum lucidum amplifying every remaining photon of light in the room. They are looking with a density of rod cells optimized for movement in the dark. They are reading the UV map on your floor, a map that you never see. They are sensing heat trails in the air through every single whisker. They are processing pulsing light signals that your eyes were not designed to recognize. And sometimes, they are reacting to something that even our best science is still trying to find the language to describe. Your cat is not looking into the darkness. They are reading a world that you do not have the key to open. If this video changed the way you look at your cat, please subscribe so you do not miss the next episode. And please leave a comment right below about where your cat usually stares at 3 o'clock in the morning. Your cat chose you. That is not nothing.